You wanna know what one of the hard truths of today's society is that people are just too fucking soft nowadays. And that's a fact. If you don't know who I am, my name is Mr. Oliveros. I'm an 18-year-old entrepreneur, and I use this channel to document and just to talk about shit and just shit talk. And I'm gonna give you guys a quick little fit check. So this is from Italy, a gift from my father. These pants are thrifted, and the shoes are, damn, I still don't know how to use this fucking camera. Let's see. The shoes are Doc Martens. So, just a little fit check for you. And let's get more into detail about this. People in today's society will get mad at you for every single little minute detail. And a great example of this is Andrew Tate. Andrew Tate talks a lot of shit, and he is, I would say, hated in the internet, but I've never actually seen anybody in person go up to him and actually try and press him or confront him for all the things he says. And it's just a example of that. Like, for example, I personally don't mind whenever people call me beaner. I have a pretty racist friend group, not in a like actual racist way, like, oh yeah, they hate you, like acts of racism. Because to me, an act of racism is actually going out and about and trying to hurt somebody of another race simply because you hate them. Like, an example of this would be you going out to harm a family of Indians simply because they're Indian. That is, in my opinion, racist. Something that is not racist is me going up to my black friend and dapping him up and saying, "What's good, my nigga?" Like something like that. That is, in my opinion, really not racist. It really just depends on the fact on how you say it, how you go about it. And I think it's probably one of society's biggest problems, because I personally think it's a problem that isn't really a problem. People are putting too much emphasis on them. They're putting too much thought into this, and instead of them putting thought into something else, like for example, solving world hunger or solving other actual issues, they're putting thoughts in like, oh, somebody called you a beaner. Like, oh, big deal. Like, okay, I don't give a damn. I don't know. I just wanted to rant about that. Just quit being a bitch. Quit being soft. And people are like, oh, no more college for you. Okay, I don't really need college. I have my own business. I'm doing quite well with that. So that's something that I've kind of been thinking about. And something else is the people that you attract. If you want to be a soft person and you want to be I guess I would say, not necessarily, like, I would say sensitive. There's really no other way for me to put it. If you want to be sensitive, then you're going to attract other sensitive people. And something that I've noticed that is extremely popular amongst sensitive people is that they have extremely shitty, I guess, mental health. Like mental health, yeah, I don't know what the fuck you call it. They have poor mental health for the same fact that they think everything's a problem. They victimize themselves and they think that the world's out to get them. And I think that's probably one of the biggest issues in today's day and age, because I personally believe that most people who are in a first world society have it better than probably anybody in King Louis' France back in, I don't know, 1435, when people were dying of the Black Plague and just going through a bunch of horrific shit. I think everybody's entitled and everybody is fortunate enough to have healthcare, have food, have clean water to drink from, if you're in a first world country, of course. And that makes weak people, because the cycle of strong men make easy times make weak men make hard times make strong men. That cycle is, in my opinion, one of the most truthful things and one of the most factual things up to today's day and age, and history has proved it. There are parts about history that I personally question if they're true or not, like parts of the Egyptians. A lot of things in today's society that I personally question, but that's besides the point. The point is, today's society is full of a bunch of pussies and a bunch of weak-ass people, and they focus on the wrong things instead of actually putting emphasis on society. And there are certain things that I do not agree with, that I personally believe that more conservative standpoints will allow for us as a society to keep on growing forward instead of trying to be super duper woke and teaching kids about being a transgender, pushing that agenda towards children is just sick and twisted. So I don't know. There's a bunch of things that are fucked up in today's society that I think need to be changed, which is, I'm gonna go out and about and say I don't agree with everything that Donald Trump says, but from the most part, most of the things that I have seen, from his financial agenda to him pushing a lot more conservative standpoints, are better for society as we see it, especially in the Western culture. Same thing with Andrew Tate. Him pushing all these conservative standpoints are for the benefit of the world in the long run, I guess you could say. But a lot of people don't really think in the long run. So just wanted to get that out there. Quit being a bitch. And I think today's day and age and society is just full of pussies nowadays. So I don't know. Go out there and make some black friends and say a couple slurs if you want. What's the worst that'll happen?